everybody, it's Lee, your absolute bestest pal on the internet. Well, best pal when it comes to the creepy cool content. Appreciate you tuning in. If this is your first time here, we're all about the creepy cool content, the monsters, mythology, and magic that makes the world a pretty kick-ass place to be. And for the last 27 days, we've been focusing on Inktober content. Inktober is an annual art challenge where you get a list of prompts from the Inktober group, and every day you try to come up with your absolute best representation of those prompts. So today is day 27, and the prompt is Spark. So I'm going to draw my interpretation of Spark. Now, for most of the prompts for this month, I've been going in without really a lot of forethought. And in some cases, I think that it's been very obvious, like for my prompt for Extinct. Not my favorite work of this challenge, but it's still, sometimes it's just a matter of getting the work done. So the work was done, and maybe there's something that I can take from that to make more fitting to the vision that I had. So, but for today, for Spark, I've got kind of a fun idea that'll actually lead into tomorrow's prompt pretty well too. So they'll be related. They'll be the first connected prompt that I've drawn for Inktober 2021. So Spark. So we had a cool milestone hit over the weekend, and I realized that it's Wednesday today as this airs. So you might be wondering why it's taking so long to talk about cool milestones, but this one came up over the weekend. We hit 333 subscribers, which puts us at about a third of the way, subscriber-wise, to making partner with the YouTube program. So that's a cool milestone to hit, and I'm really excited that we're getting that much closer. The next step is going to be to get our watch hours up. But that goes up with the subscribers. Every time we get a new subscriber that checks out the channel, that person inevitably goes through and watches a lot of the content. And with that, those watch hours go up. In order to make partner with YouTube, you have to have something like 4,000 watch hours in a year. And we're at about 600 as of this viewing. So, still, that's pretty impressive. I'm really happy with that, considering that this channel just started on, July 16th of 2020. So to be, we're not really super close, but we're so much closer than I thought we'd be. So I'm pretty happy with that. One of the prompts that I have self-imposed on myself is that each one of the entries that I'm going to be doing is going to be monstrous. And so today's entry for Spark will be a monstrous person, a monstrous character with a spark. So there's our spark there. Grew up reading a lot of comic books, so sometimes some of the more goofy comic book elements will pop up in things that I'm drawing. I really, really love ridiculous characters. So there's the Wrecking Squad in the Marvel Comics with Wrecker, Bulldozer, Piledriver, Thunderball. The most ridiculous characters. They look so stupid, and I love them so much. I love their dumb costumes. I love the ridiculously stupid expressions on their faces. I actually, for fun, took some HeroClix figures and repainted them of those characters. So I wanted to, the HeroClix figures really aren't too bad once they've been scrubbed down and painted, but I really just wanted those stupid classic characters so very badly. Like Absorbing Man, what a dumb costume. I love it so much. It's just amazing. Hi, these are my stripy pants, and whatever I'm touching, I can absorb the material composition of. So I'm kind of stealing Bulldozer's costume from Marvel. That's, again, getting into some of the really fun things about being an illustrator is you get to borrow and adapt from the best. So, but the borrowing is only limited because I don't think Bulldozer's costume goes anywhere near stupid as it could. So, besides, this isn't Bulldozer. This is Megaspark. At least that's the name he gave himself when he first manifested his powers yesterday afternoon. It was about 2:45 in the afternoon when this particular Cyclops was hanging out in his front yard trying to get his barbecue started because he was going to have his mother-in-law and father-in-law over. Things hadn't been going too well for all of them. They had just not getting along. And so the Cyclops said, okay, I'm going to have the in-laws over. We'll have a chat. We'll make everything right again. And his wife was pretty happy about that. And besides, he's, really good grill master. You'd say he has an eye for it. And anyway, as the hour of when his in-laws were supposed to appear for dinner got closer and closer, turned out that he'd forgotten the lighter fluid, the briquette starter fluid, and there's just no way that he was going to get that barbecue grill up to an adequate temperature before the in-laws showed up. And it was going to be a repeat of the disastrous barbecue of the previous summer that set him and his father-in-law against each other to begin with. There's nothing worse than having another man finish the barbecue for you. So he sat there muttering to himself, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I can't light these briquettes. It's going to be a failure. All of a sudden he felt a great heat pouring off the top of his head. And yes, Megaspark was born. Out of necessity, Megaspark, with the power of igniting small collections of incendiary devices. Ah, what a great power. So here it is. The next day, he's decided he's going to use his powers as Megaspark to fight crime in Monster City. But he hasn't really actually mastered his powers yet. He's never taken them out into the field. He's not even sure, especially with the superpowered monster-on-monster crime that's been going on lately. He's not entirely sure that this was the best idea. But he was able to get a costume on discount at the local costume shop. So, perhaps it wasn't a bad idea after all. And with the power of the spark on top of his head, his identity is pretty tightly concealed. People can't see his face too much. And there's a lot of Cyclopses in the town he lives in anyway. So he's not too terribly concerned about protecting his identity. Besides, with those muscles and this power, how could anyone ever even think about challenging him? His powers start with the popping, sparking sound, and then the top of his head ignites. It's pretty amazing. And I will be continuing Mega Spark story with tomorrow's prompt, since, like I said, I promise that these will be interconnected. Thought about it before I started inking. I would have made him look like maybe he had been skipping leg day. Try to work a little comedy into the piece. It's already pretty silly, so I don't have to worry about it too much. But man, nothing worse than realizing you missed a comedic opportunity. Big old muscle-bound, fire-based superhero skipping leg day. He's also a bit of a goober because, seriously, who fights crime without shoes on, right? It's just the worst idea ever, but I don't think Mega Spark really worries about these things. He's only been on the job for the better part of a day, so, alright. The spark. Let's get those pencil lines off there at the very least. It's the least we can do. Tiny bit of color, sure, why not? Do a little color in there. I'm actually going to call it good. That's day 27 Spark, and I really appreciate all of you checking out the channel and following along as I indulge in this Inktober journey. If you like what we're doing, make sure to scare up that like button. Of course, you can let us haunt you forever by subscribing to the channel. The best is yet to come.